Hey everybody, Mike here at MH Tutorials. Welcome back. Well guys, I got another tutorial request today, and today the question was, can you model a science fiction sword? And I asked for a reference image, so I got an idea what the person in question is looking for. So that's what we're going to load up as a reference. So I'm going to go to my panel view, go to my front view, click on view, image plane, import image. And let's see, where is he at? There we go. Okay, so that's what we're going to work with. Now, I received this image and I have no idea where this image is coming from, but it looks to me like a 3D model. So just in case you know who made this original, let me know and I'll put that in the comment section to give that person credit for it. And that said, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off by creating the blade here. So for that, we're going to create a polygon cube. We're going to drag that out, and we're going to give it a little bit of height, not too much. We'll hit 5 for shaded mode, and we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to go to our Polycube 1 tab, and in height, we're going to add one subdivision. So we've got one in the middle right there, okay? And then we're going to check out how far that point is going over there, all right? So for that, we're going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box. Make sure you got just a single selected, and we'll add a subdivision around there. That looks about right, okay? Then we're going to go to our top view, hit F to zoom in, 5 for shaded mode, and we're going to right click, go to vertex, drag select these two, hit R, and we're going to push them towards a point. I'll hit F to zoom in to make sure that that's a nice clean point. Okay, and maybe we'll stretch that out a little bit. So right click vertex, make sure you're in vertex, hit W, maybe slightly better. Okay, all right. Now that we have that, we are going to right click, go to edge, and we're going to double click on that middle edge. Just make sure it's selected all the way around, with the exception of that one. Okay, and we're going to hit R, and we're going to start to scale that out, and we'll fix that back end in a sec. Just check our top view. That's not too bad. Maybe a little of this. It's cool. Okay. And then we're going to right click, go to vertex, drag select these two, hit W and bring that back in. And let's see what we have so far. Okay, just get rid of that here. Okay, not bad. So that will be our blade. Now, as you can see here, we have this cross going on. That's what we're going to model next. So for that, we will create another polygon cube. Give that some height. We're going to position that on top of our handle or close to our handle so we can get a sense of what the dimension should be. That's not bad. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate that. Make sure we're at minus 90. And we're going to select these two, right click Object Mode, select them both, Mesh Combine. Okay. Modify Center Pivot, hit W, bring that in. Now we're going to take this guy and we're going to set our translate values to 0. So it's nice and central. Take that guy and bring that up. Hit F to zoom in, just to make sure that we are aligned. Okay. Now that's going to be the final position pretty much. Let's just check our reference image here. And we'll just move that up a little. Okay, so it's fairly flat, and as you can see, it's somewhat rounded. Okay, so that's what we're going to deal with next. So we're going to take this object, switch to this view right here, bring that down. Okay, we're going to hit R. I'm going to scale that in. That's not too bad. And let's just check once more to look at our image here. And as you can see, that this cross section is well inside the width of the blade, so we need to do the same. Okay, so we're gonna scale it down just a bit. Hit W, so that's gonna be the position. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create that rounded effect. So we're gonna go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop tool, Option box, multiple edge loops, and we'll do 5. Okay, we're gonna select 5 here and 5 right there. Hit Q on your keyboard, right click, go to vertex. We're going to drag select all the vertices with the exception of the 2 outer ones. Hit R, pull it out just a little. Then we're going to skip 1 at each end. Do that once more, and select the one in the middle and do that once more. Let's see if that's clean enough. That looks nice. We can do the same here. Drag select those, scale them out a little, take those, do that again, and take the one in the middle and do that once more. Okay, and the whole thing is softened somewhat, so let's just check that in our perspective view. Okay, right click object mode. Okay, that's not what we want. So what we're going to do is Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop, Option box, go back to your regular setting to add 1. We're going to drag 1 over to the end here, do 1 there, 1 at that end, and 1 at that end. Hit Q on your keyboard, right click object mode, and hit 3 on your keyboard. That looks a lot better. Okay, let's see if we still have enough height on our object. Looks like we need to increase that a little bit. So select that, hit R. That's better. Okay, so what's next? So we have these double rings on top with these elements on the side. So that's what we're going to do next. So let's create a polygon cylinder. Drag that out, pull that up, give that some subdivision. Let's say 40. We're going to switch to our side view, hit F to zoom in, right click, vertex, drag select the top there, hit R and scale that in. Cool. Back to our perspective view. And actually we should have removed the caps. Let's see if that's going to mess up my object. No, it's not. It's good. Check our reference once more. All right. Right click face, select that, edit mesh, extrude, hit R, pull that in, G to repeat, W to pull up, G to repeat again, R to scale out again. Check that from our top view to make sure that we pull that out to the dimension that we already had. Okay. G to repeat again, W to pull up to give that some thickness. And okay, that looks good. And then we have that diamond shape on top, which is a separate object. Okay. And we have these objects on the side here that we need to deal with. So for that, we will go to our top view, select these two, these two, these two, and these two. Edit mesh, extrude, hit R, scale them out. And it doesn't have to be 100% identical, but we do want to have kind of a decorative look and feel. Edit mesh, extrude again. Let's see, hit W. Actually, we'll undo that. We'll go with this for now. Just do a quick check. Object mode. Okay. That's fine. Okay, and then we have our diamond shape on top here, and for that we will create half a sphere. So we'll create a full sphere first, pull that out, go to our polysphere, give that 40 subdivisions, switch to our side view, hit F to zoom in, right click face. Let's do a little bit more than half. Let's do this, hit delete, right click object mode. We're going to move that in and up. And again, F to zoom in. We're going to hit R, we're going to scale that down. And now let's position that. Once again, F to zoom in so we can see what's going on here. We need to move it right there. It's not bad. Let's check it from this end. Let's bring that in. I have to zoom in. I'm going to hit 4 for wireframe mode so I can get it aligned. That's good. And then we're going to drag select our object, mesh, combine. We're going to move it on top of the cross that we made. So we'll hit 5 for shaded mode, modify center pivot, W, move it over, move it up, F to zoom in, R to scale that down quite a bit. And we'll hit 4 so we can see where we're at. That looks good, and that looks good as well. Let's check our height. Okay. So that will give us that. And we want the same on the other end, of course. So Control D to duplicate. Pull that down. E to rotate, flip it over 180 degrees. Hit W, bring that up again. And there we go. Okay, so we got the blade, we got that cross section. now let's deal with this. This looks like a regular circle, and then we have these oval elements here. So we're going to start with the circle, and we'll do that by creating a polygon cylinder. Pull that up, go to your polycylinder tab. Let's do 40 subdivisions. Switch to our side view. Edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, option box, multiple edge loops. Let's do 2. Add them. Q on your keyboard. Right click edge. Make sure they're both selected. And then hit R and pull them out to the edge. Right click face. Select the top. Shift select the bottom. And then edit mesh. Extrude. And hit R. And pull that out. And then push it down. Just check to see if that's where it should be. All right. Cool. Right click object mode. Hit E, rotate that over to -90. And let's get that into position. Okay. Go to top view. F to zoom in. W to move up and in. And F once more. Okay, now let's check our reference image for a sec. Okay. So we're going to bring that guy in here. And we're going to hit R. We're going to scale that in. Hit W to move it up. Bring that in. Check it from this view here. Bring that down. F to zoom in. And as you can see, we need to bring that down a bit. So we're going to hit R. We're going to scale that down some more. And hit W and bring that in. Okay. So let's see if that's too thin or not. Pretty close to our reference, so that's not bad. And we need to add some detail here. Let's see. Okay, we are going to shape these sections here, and as you can see, they're ovals. So that's going to be a bit tricky. We're going to take another polygon cylinder, pull it out, pull that up. 40 subdivisions. Let's do 7. Let's see, does that make sense? No, 6. We'll do 6. We'll switch this view here, move the whole thing over a little bit. We're going to right click, go to vertex, and we're going to select these rows. And we're going to hit R. I'm going to scale that in. Take the one in the middle, scale that in. Take that row and that row. Scale that in a little bit. And then take our entire object and push that in. Okay. F to zoom in. And now let's make the thing oval. So hit R, right click object mode, R, and we're going to move that towards the oval shape that we need. Okay. Let's get that into position. We're going to rotate that in this direction, which will be 90. Then rotate it in that direction, minus 90. From our top view, we're going to hit W and bring that down, and then towards our connect point. Let's scale this guy down quite a bit. W to move in. Just check our reference image for a sec. Okay, so we got a sense of what's going on. We're going to bring that in. Maybe a bit bigger. There we go. Still too small. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. Going to move that over. And we're going to hit Shift D to duplicate that over. That is close. Okay, as you can see, we have to move it a bit. So drag, select that, mesh, combine, modify center pivot, hit W, bring that down, F to zoom in. Now I want this to be aligned in the middle, like that. All right, so what's next? So we got this ring here that we're going to create, which actually looks very similar to this object right here. So let's see how we can create that. Okay, I'm going to create a polygon cube. Make sure it's absolutely square. So we'll do 5 by 5. Height is not too important. We'll do, let's see, not in the height, we'll do 5 by 5. There we go. We're going to go to top view, right click vertex, shift select these, and these. So everything but the 4 corners. And we're going to hit R. And we're going to bring that in. It's not going to be exactly the same, but kind of like the points. All right. And then what we'll do is we'll add one edge. So edit mesh, insert edge group tool, option box, regular setting. We'll add one. Let's just make sure we're in the middle. So we're going to bring that guy down a bit. All right. And then we're going to hit R. And let's scale that out. All right. Okay, so now we are going to right-click face. We're going to select these 9 faces in the middle. And we'll do the same on the back. There we go. Make sure we got nothing else selected. And then hit R on your keyboard. And we're going to just pull that in like that. Right-click object mode. Let's do a soft select. So hit 3 on your keyboard. That's fine. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate that. by, where'd he go? Right there, minus 90. And we're going to move that into position. So we are now in our top view. Hit W, move that over, and that one was fairly up front here. So hit F to zoom in. First, make sure we're centered, and then we're going to push that back until we're right there. And we're going to hit R, and we're going to scale that down to a point where it looks okay. As you can see, it needs to come down from that end. So we'll check that right here. Hit W, bring that down. And there we go. Now it's still quite big. And like I said, we're not going to copy it exactly, but we want to get pretty close. So let's do this. Yeah, not bad. And then let's deal with the end over here. Okay. Now for the end, let's see what we've got going on here. We will create a polygon sphere. Pull that out. Increase subdivision to 40. I'm going to cut that in half. So let's go to this view here, hit F to zoom in, right click face, take half of that and hit delete. Let's check to see what we have. Right click object mode. All right. We're going to right click face, click and shift double click to select the outer row, edit mesh, extrude. We're going to hit R and we're going to scale that out a little. And then we're going to select that row, G to repeat, R to scale in, G to repeat, and W to bring down. Okay. We are going to switch to this view right here. Right click, object mode. Let's start to move that towards the end here. We need to rotate it, scale it, and so forth. So we're going to hit E, rotate that. By 90. Then we're going to switch views. Okay, we're going to hit R to scale it down. Let's see, where is the end here? And we'll hit F so we can see it a bit better. We're going to move it over first to get it aligned so it looks centered. Okay. Check our views here. We're going to bring that in. And we still need to make that oval. So let's see what we got. All right. So we're going to hit R on our keyboard. We're going to start to stretch that out until it fits. And that looks okay, but we're going to check it. That looks fine. That does not. So let's see what's going on there. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So that should be about it. Okay. What else do we have going on in our reference here? Now, most of what's going on from this point on is texturing. So that's what we're going to do next. So I'll just, yeah, we'll keep this guy around for a sec. All right. Okay. Now we are going to move in, right click edge, take that edge and hit delete. All right. And then right-click face, select that face, flip it over, select that face, edit mesh, extrude. And we'll check that from our top view. Hit R. And scale that in just slightly and down. So you get this opening going on around, okay? And I'll show you in our perspective view. Let's move this guy out of the way. Come on. Hit W, move that out, okay? So you want to have this face moving around. Now we are going to right click the edge and we're going to take these two edges and hit delete and do the same here and hit delete. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's see how that is textured. Okay. So we are going to right click on a face, select that face and that face. Right click, assign a material, Fong E, and we'll change that to black, and we'll call that black. All right. Then we're going to select our blade, if you will, and make sure that you don't select that face that's going around. Okay. Right click, assign a material, MIA underscore material X, material tab, presets, Chrome, replace, and we'll call that Chrome. We're going to select that face that's surrounding our object, and we got those. Now do the same on the other end. And looks like I got all of them. Okay. Right click, assign a material. Let's do a Lambert. Change our color to green, and then let's see if we can move towards blue-green. That looks a bit better. And we're going to tweak that because we are going to, let's see, where's that setting? Okay, glow intensity, we're going to move that to 0.2. Okay, and we'll call that glow green. Okay, now for this guy, sorry, right click object mode, that guy. Let's see, is that textured? Yeah, looks okay. Okay, right click, assign existing material Chrome. We will do the same for this guy and the end piece. And for this section, actually we need to separate that. Mesh, separate, mesh, separate, there we go. So that object and that object and that one and the end piece, assign existing material and Chrome. We're going to select these two. All right. Right click, existing material, glow green. We'll select that section right there. and assign existing material black. All right. And now this is going to be a bit tricky because there, and actually what I'm going to do is just move this thing over so we can approach it easier. Okay. Let's switch to this view here. Now what I want is to have these sections in the middle chrome. So we're going to right click on the face and we're going to select everything except the ones in the middle. Okay. All right. Right click, assign new material, MIA_X, material tab, presets, glass solid, and replace. And we're going to scroll down, and this color here is somewhat bluish. And we're going to move towards the green that we selected and make that nice and bright. Okay. And now, hopefully that took. Let's see. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. And now we are going to select these sections in the middle. So right click face, these two, and so forth. Nope, that's one too much. Yep, there we go. Right click existing material and chrome. Now let's move that guy back into position. Right click object mode, move it back. Have to zoom in. So that looks all right. Excuse me. So I think we got everything. Now let's see how this would be positioned. The handle is fairly heavy, so the blade is coming off the ground, if you will. And because of the shape of this decoration here, it's tilted to one side. So we have to deal with that, okay? So we're going to go to this view here. We can now get rid of our reference image. Select our sword, mesh combine. We're going to raise that until this is lying on the grid line, okay? And then we're going to hit the insert key, or actually you can just hit the D key, if you will. Hold down the D key, sorry. And we're going to move our pivot point right there. And then we're going to hit E, and we're going to rotate it down until our handle touches the floor. Okay, so that's part one. Now, from this view, we're going to tilt it to one side. So we are going to move it in this direction. And we have an object sticking out, so that's actually going to keep it balanced. And as you can see, it's changing our object, so that's not good. So this is fine. Let's see what's going on here. Still all good. Mesh combined, yeah, we're still good. Okay. So I want to tilt that, but it's only gonna tilt to there because of that point sticking out, okay? So that will give us this. And to be honest, I want it to tilt the other way simply because I think that looks cooler. No other reason than that, okay? Cool. So now we got our sword. We're going to create a polygon plane. And we're just gonna scale the heck out of that thing. There we go. Right click, assign new material. Let's do a Fong E. And let's change that color to green, but let's see, no, not green. That's not good. White, we'll just do white, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna set up some lighting. Create light, point light. I'm gonna hit 7 on my keyboard so I can see what's going on. And I'm gonna raise that up, raise that back. Control D to duplicate that. I want to have one there. Control D and duplicate it over here. And for that one, I'm going to lower the intensity to 0.25, which is good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an external image for lighting. Why is that guy not hitting the floor? There we go. I'm just going to fix that. Okay, so I still got my pivot point there. So I'm going to rotate that so actually the handle wouldn't be touching. Reason being that the weight is at this end, this section is touching the floor, and so is this. So the handle wouldn't touch the floor, so that's fine. So we got the majority of our lighting set up. I'm going to set up an HDRI image. So I'm going to go to render settings, switch to elemental ray, which is important, indirect lighting, select global illumination, and final gathering. And final gathering because we are going to use that image-based lighting, which will act as a surface shader light source, if you will. Okay. Caustics, not really important. We do have some glass going on, but I'll select it anyway. For a quality tab, let's move that to about 1.5. In my common tab, I'm going to switch my image size to HD 1080. And now let's go back to indirect lighting, image-based lighting, minimize that. And in my folder, I'm just going to select an HDRI file. Let's see, what are we going to use for this? Let's do a dark black sky and hit OK. We're going to set up our resolution gate, and let's get this positioned. That I'll go back 1. All right. We do want to see some detailing on it, so we'll do this. All right. Okay, so I'm going to hit the render button, this one right here. I'm going to pause the video so you guys don't have to wait for that, and I'll be back in 1 sec. Okay, hang on. Well, guys, I stopped the render simply because I want to change 2 little things. One is we got way too much light going on, so I'm going to take that, actually take this guy and delete that. Take this guy and hit W and pull that up and out and decrease the intensity to 0.5, which is fine, I hope. That guy is okay, and yeah, that should be fine. Okay, and I'm gonna try that again. See you in a sec. Well, there you go, guys. This is our final render of our Sci-Fi Sword. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you got any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll do my very best to help you out. And that said, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, bye.